Oh, hey, Chris.
Oh, hi, Hill.
Welcome to another glorious episode.
Well, that is one way to describe it.
Do you have any idea what we're doing today?
Well, seeing that this episode is called Cinema and a Crystal Ball, if I had a crystal ball to look into,
What do you think you would see in your crystal ball?
I think I would see a very well-known film family and an up-and-coming singer who are
Dabbling in wine?
dabbling in wine and doing their own thing in Rutherford. And I think it's going to be a pretty good episode.
I think so too. Well, stay tuned and find out.
Here we go. Welcome to 911, everybody. I'm Chris.
The Champagne Podcast.
The Champagne Podcast on a beer budget.
All right. I'm Hillary. Tonight we have two special guests.
Very special.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
100%.
Just checking. Yes, we have two guests, not just one.
Okay. Do you want to, should I start?
You start us off.
Okay. I'm going to start. A very good friend of mine from Rutherford, Napa Valley local. Let's just start with some of the accolades first. Founder of the Directors Bureau. He is a member of the Academy, as in the Academy Awards. Nominated for an Academy Award for the Best Original Screenplay, along with Moonrise Kingdom. Golden Globe for Best TV Series, Mozart in the Jungle. A director, a vintner, and a mixologist. Roman Coppola.
Woo!
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here. I like my resume.
I know, I should have started because you did that so lovely.
That was lovely.
I know.
Well,
Okay, we also have Jenny, North Carolina native, and she is a musician, can play the guitar, the drums, and a singer. She newly released an album, Oh Brother. I hear she's a wonderful, I can't pronounce this name.
Uh-oh.
Maybe the kids?
Card games.
Oh.
Oh, Machiavelli.
Yes,
we've had some nice games.
Champion of
I hear you're a
Machiavelli.
champion. A mother
Sometimes.
to 3 amazing children, and most of all, a friend to Matt Morris.
I am.
Plug.
He's gonna love that.
And if you didn't already figure it out, they're married. And they were here up at the Inglenook estate at the farmhouse. It's a beautiful night here in Napa Valley. And yeah, thanks for agreeing to let us come up here and hassle you guys for our podcast.
We're honored.
Have you heard
We're
about
excited.
the podcast before?
Yes.
It's If you haven't seen it yet, it's in the San Leo Star under the Aunt Helena section, which is where the real locals go for their news.
Or complaints.
Or complaints.
When they're not going to the police.
Log or
yes,
next
exactly. Yeah. Man. So, yeah. Here we are. We read the police log. We drink really good wine. We talk to locals, winemakers, musicians, artists. And you guys kind of fall into that whole category, so this is a natural fit.
I want to know where the other musicians are, Chris. I need to know.
Alessandro. He plays a mean bongo drum.
That is a good segue. Sunday, March 21 at 1339 hours. Loud music complaint on Cornella Drive.
Oh, convenient.
They could have been playing your music,
Oh.
or it could have been another musician. So
My mom lives near Cornella Drive.
She might have been.
Maybe she was just having a crazy afternoon.
Yeah. Rave on the sidewalk.
Yeah, that sounds like her.
Indeed. Speaking of crazy afternoons, at 1646 on March 26th, a person came into the lobby with a Bible stating that someone with a crystal ball was changing pages in the Bible. The page numbers were out of order and the images had been changed. The person denied being under the influence, but they were asked. And police advised the person to return the book to the store.
good advice.
How'd you get that one? That's a good one.
Well, but I like return to the store, not like return the Bible to the church.
Maybe it was-
return the Bible. Like, did they buy it at the local bookstore on Main Street?
I don't know, but a crystal ball had changed the Bible.
Can you add a feature to this podcast that is a sort of a write-in, so any of the people, the viewership, could write in and post details, because it's too
We would love that.
Aggravated to not
Mysterious.
learn what happened, who it was, what the deal was.
We have reached out to a few people that we think they were about. We did not receive a comment back, which
Yeah.
was disappointing.
Very sad. We're trying, but I like that. Maybe our Instagram this next week will have a section where you can the rest of the story.
Ooh, I
if you
like
will.
that.
We'll Paul Harvey it a little bit.
We could end each episode with follow-ups. from
Follow-ups.
The
Yeah,
month before.
I love it. Man.
So are you guys our new business managers or?
Roman's
Social media consultant,
producing away.
producer.
Yes.
So speaking of producing, tell us a little bit about your the latest songs that you've come out with, Jen.
Well,
Really cool.
I didn't produce them, but I wrote them,
Okay.
and thank goodness I found some other producers to help make them. I have 2 songs. A song came out last month, and a song came out 2 days ago.
Wow.
That are I'm excited to get out into the world.
Yeah. What are they called?
This new one is called Oh Brother.
Mm-hmm.
And the one from a month ago is Bow Your Head.
Cool.
They're on all streaming services.
Nice. And there is a video associated with Bow Your Head. And
both,
Oh Brother.
Both, yeah.
Cool.
They both just had videos come out.
How did you? I don't know. Who did you go to for like a director? Any ideas?
I just was like,
Did you shop around a little bit?
I got some resumes submitted to me,
Yeah.
and then I did like sort of a blind tasting,
Yeah.
so to
if you will.
speak,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
to really pick the best one. And then
Any luck? Do you think the one you went with was like? Did it work out?
I think he did a really good job. I think it was a good choice. It helped that he lived with me.
Well, I want to know how that went. Like, this is like power couple for producing and songs, man. So how did the production go
For our shoot?
For the shoot, yeah.
Well, it was fun. We because it's times of COVID, we had to be crafty about what we could shoot, so we couldn't really have a crew. So I shot with my iPhone, which was an adventure,
Nice.
to try to do something that had a professional finish and just do it myself with the iPhone. And it's kind of interesting in that I was teaching. My kids have a little school in our barn. And so I was doing a bi-weekly animation class. So I was teaching them some little bits about animation, and it's interesting because when you teach people things, you learn about things. So I learned some different techniques and different things that sparked my imagination. So when Jenny wanted to do something, I thought, it'd be fun to do something with animation, because I'd been sort of thinking about it, learning about it, and I thought, we could do it intimately without a lot of crew or anything. So that was kind of how it started, and I tried to tell a little story that kind of had connected to what's I felt was sort of the spirit of the song and the spirit of Jenny's music, and that Jenny being sort of isolated here, she doesn't really have a band, and there's always that wish to sort of connect with people. So in the video, which I won't spoil, that's kind of the story of her finding bandmates in an unexpected way. And
Desperately looking for friends.
not friends, but people to work with or collaborate with. And so we sort of that was what kind of came out of it, and that's the story, and that was the approach. And luckily, I had some very talented people in my office in LA who did all the visual effects, and there was a lot of painstaking cutting and pasting and stitching and backgrounds and colorizing and different manipulation that I was very lucky to be able to tap into these young, capable, enthusiastic people.
Cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is the Director's Bureau.
Yeah.
Right? So explain how that...
We've had, our company, the Directors Bureau, has been around for a little over 20 years, which is hard to imagine. And we were founded as a, kind of in the spirit of a collective, different filmmakers coming together and, largely to do commercials or music videos or those types of productions, short form. And we always worked with people that had different areas of expertise, photographers and graphic designers and people with different bits of experience. So, kind of came together in a neat way. But we've been doing it for 20 years, and we had a little bit of stress during COVID, because production really dried up, and so I had to sort of find a new way to have the company, sort of come out of it intact, but we did. And we're thriving, and now's a really good time.
Cool. That's awesome.
I know.
Nice. Keeps you busy. And you can do a little bit remote from here. You've got a little bit of resources to draw on, so...
We do. We're lucky. We have a lot of space, and we have a little, one of our barns in the back set up to shoot. And,
cool.
And it's not so hard now with... we're all doing it, telecommuting, using different iPhones and computers to do things. So you can get a lot done.
Nice. Awesome. Oh. Cool. And what are we drinking tonight?
Well, we have two things we're pouring. One is the RC Reserve. This is from 2001. And the other one is our family wine, which is literally we make about 6 cases, maybe 7 cases of wine just from the vineyard that's right in front of our little home here in Rutherford. And that's something I do with the kids, and Jenny and I lead the way. She's kind of the...
I take
she's the
charge
chemist.
of the clerical aspects.
She's a clerical chemist, testing all
Yeah.
that, kind of keeping us on point.
In addition to pulling out all the stems.
And she works
I
on
really enjoy that.
that. So,
Do you ever pull out like a snake or anything you weren't expecting?
Lots of spiders. Lots of
Yeah,
spiders.
yeah. No scary bugs. We've all cut ourselves pretty bad. Because don't know what we're doing.
Hillary will offer to be your nurse practitioner for
Great.
harvest. So if you
Perfect.
need
Okay.
stitches,
Yes.
I know for a fact she practices on pig's feet.
I do. I do,
Hmm.
yes. So I'm ready for human flesh.
oh, wow.
Okay.
Is that pretty similar, pig's feet and human?
It is,
Oh,
yeah. Whenever I learn a new stitch, I go home first and practice on
Wow.
a pig's foot.
Wow. And you just go to a butcher shop?
I
or?
go to Aztec Market in St. Helena.
Wow. How
Do they give you a good deal on them?
Yeah, actually, they're very affordable. I think I got like 16 pieces for $7, and then I got a burrito.
And did
That was
you
great.
ever cook it afterwards,
I
or?
have not. They're full of like nylon
Right.
strings, so
Not so
I
bad.
guess I could do the absorbable sutures
Right.
and then cook it up.
Right. I'll make a stew.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's perfect.
Well, speaking of lunch,
Well done.
thank you.
The transitions in these always fascinate me because we go back very artfully between wine and history to drunk people in the street.
Well, this was drunk people in a restaurant.
Let's hear it.
A man reported being cursed at and told to leave a restaurant after confronting an employee about his dissatisfaction with his lunch order. Police did not take a report because no crime had occurred.
Wow. That sounds like it was really mean.
Yeah. But it almost sounds like the restaurant was mean.
Oh.
Because he was just saying,
He
I
was
wasn't
complaining.
happy with my salad, and they asked him to leave. 2 sides to every story, though.
I guess so. Where do you guys go? Where do you go for food around here? What's your go-to spot? I mean, we had the Rutherford Grill tonight for dinner,
Yeah.
which is always a staple.
Delicious.
Hillstone wants to sponsor. Alex.
Yeah, we do. We are looking for sponsors. So if anyone, Hillstone,
We don't go anywhere else. That's the only place.
Rutherford Grill.
We actually really don't go. I mean, especially
We go to
now.
Gott's.
We go to Gott's
Yeah.
and
We went to Charter Oak for the first time in a long time,
yeah.
and that was tasty.
Was the Phantom of Charter Oak there?
Ooh.
Matt Morris.
He actually took me there the first time.
See, I do. It all comes back. To
But
that.
Roman's previous adventures there were. How old were you?
Oh.
17?
17. It was the Fort George, or the St. George, rather.
Oh, this was before Trevina.
Yeah.
Whoa, tell us
Yeah.
about this. This is cool. This is the history you've all come for. By the way.
Well, Greg Pistone, my
Yeah.
high school pal, could tell you much more vibrant stories. But it was sort of a happening restaurant. He was a busboy. There's a group of high school people that worked there, and his girlfriend. And there was a wonderful host named Howard, and I'll think of his last name, but he was like from New Orleans, super outgoing, super flamboyant, super engaging and fun and funny. But anyway, it was sort of it's sort of what we see now in the Valley with, quality restaurants. It was sort of like one of the first that I recall. When we first moved up here, there was the Grapevine Inn and Vern's Copper Chimney, and then A&W. And that was pretty much it. So there, this fine dining is sort of a new kind of thing.
Things have changed a little bit.
Thank goodness we still have A&W.
It's made it.
Yeah.
It's sustained.
And then Taylor's
And
Refreshment.
Taylor's, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah. I still call it, if you know you're a local, if you call it Taylor's.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's still on my phone as Taylor's.
For sure.
Every time I call. Well, does anyone else have any good
Ooh, here's a good one. 1819 on March 29th. Oh, we didn't say which police law.
Oh,
March of this year.
2021.
1819. Report of an intoxicated woman having a verbal altercation with guests and employees on a Main Street property and then driving away in a silver SUV. I guess it's good it wasn't the white BMW.
Yeah, really.
I've heard about that one.
I think this log has a lot of intoxicated people.
It does. As she left, she almost ran over an employee who'd been trying to calm her down. Police arrested the 39-year-old Fresno woman on suspicion of DUI and assault with a deadly weapon, i.e. her car.
Wow.
What time of day was that?
6 o'clock at night.
Okay.
What is it about March that's leading everyone to...
Drink.
Maybe the weather's getting better and people are.
It's been a weird, can we all agree that it's been a weird March, though? In April, even.
Not as weird as last March, Chris.
Yes.
Thank you.
I think everyone's like, we hit that year anniversary and they just
Yeah, it was time
getting
to.
I
vaccinations
think so.
and they
Everyone's
just
out.
wanted to go out and drink.
Going crazy.
I mean, we keep hearing it compared to like the Roaring 20s. We're going to have our own version of
This is
the
good. I
Roaring
hope so.
20s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because here's a report of a very intoxicated couple on Allison Avenue with one woman rolling on the floor, and the man reportedly hit one car and almost hit two ladies.
Whoa. Wait, she's rolling on the floor.
She's rolling on the floor, and he's
And
just...
he's in a car.
Or no,
So-
he almost hit a car.
Oh,
So I think maybe with his
Okay.
flailing.
She's rolling in the floor on the in the car, not in like a house, like in the car.
No, I think she's
just rolling on the floor.
and he hit a car, but I guess with his body.
That's what I think. So. And almost two ladies.
And almost two ladies. But is that something that someone said when they called in? Like, I see this guy and he almost hit two ladies?
I think they must
Probably.
have. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got to be.
Wow.
It's always again. If you know anything about the story, please contact us. Hillary will reach out. We'll buy you dinner and we'll hear your story.
This one was really worthy of the phone call. 1806, a woman said she'd placed an order online, but she hadn't received everything she ordered. She was requesting reimbursement through PayPal. But she needed a police report first.
No. Could you imagine the dispatcher who has to take that call? Like, do you just deep
But maybe
breathe?
you're just happy because it's not like something
It's
devastating.
not like
It's
a
true.
murder or robbery. Something like that.
Far-
Or do
few
you
and
think
far
they're
between.
cynical now? Like, really? Really?
I don't know. I don't know what I would say, but I hope she got her money from PayPal. I guess. Maybe I don't.
We may never know.
We never know.
How many people live in town now? Like 5,000?
It used to be 5,000. I think
Yeah.
it's like 6 or
I
7.
think we're up
Well,
to 6 now. Well, but I
but
don't know
now
how
we
many
have this
second-
new thing
Oh,
called.
the timeshare.
Should we talk about the timeshares?
We should because it's all over next door in the
Big
month of March.
news in St. Helena. It's called Picasso, Pacaso, I think.
And they're not timeshares. They're
Fractional ownership.
yes.
Yeah,
yes.
it's 1/8 fractional ownership, and you can be a lucky owner of a 1/8 house in St. Helena for like $400,000.
I think it's
Oh
like
my God.
$500,000.
So
Super
you get a
expensive.
certain, like a month, 2 months
Like
out
a
of
month
the year.
there,
Right.
or a month and whatever.
Because at first I
6
thought
weeks.
the house was only $500,000. I was like,
Oh my God.
this is
Where
what
has
I've been
this
waiting
been?
for.
Yeah.
I can buy
So,
the house.
what do you guys? What do you think about that?
Well, it's not exactly the makings for, community that you want to see blossom, kids and families and locals. But, if it's limited, it's not so awful to share the beauty. But
Yeah,
it is, it's odd.
Yeah.
it's different. Yeah,
I think Gigi Mondavi was saying in a way it'll be the same people. So it's not
Right.
like these Airbnbs with bachelorette
Right.
parties and
True.
all these things coming in. So that could be a positive side of it, but I don't know. I think, like you said, the community side of it. I like growing up and
yeah. Well, you know,
like
one of
knowing
your
the
neighbors.
neighbors
Yeah.
and growing up with the neighbor kids
Yeah.
and it's
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a trip.
We'll find
So
out.
on that note, you guys decided to kind of make Napa more or less home for a while.
Yeah, we were living
Yeah.
in LA, living in San Francisco, and now we're here. And
Cool.
the kids are very happy, and it was sort of a function of COVID seclusion.
Yeah.
But now it's just so comfortable and beautiful, and so many reasons to be here. And in my professional life, sometimes you think you have to be somewhere, and then things unfold where you have more flexibility. So that's part of it, and yeah, we love being here.
Cool. What do you think the best part about being in like the Valley is for a family, or for you guys?
This year, I think the most notable thing has been that our kids are just outside biking and playing. All our friends in San Francisco, LA, New York, they're all just stuck in their homes during these lockdowns. And anyway, for me, that we have 3 kids in a little house that they can just run outside and we don't have to worry. It's
free range.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And then career-wise, do you feel like there's different inspirations out here?
Yeah.
Or is it
I think
easier, harder?
It's hard to know because we've only been here in this way. Obviously, we came back and forth a lot to see Roman's family in the past, but to really be here for this year during such a crazy time, I've been able to have all these collaborations with people that normally would be on tour or working on other projects, and people have just been more available to send stuff back and forth remotely. And I don't know if that will continue. I hope so.
Would you ever consider a concert in St. Helena or Napa? Have you ever done one?
For sure,
Yeah.
I would do it.
Cool.
Yeah.
It'd be really cool.
We can be your openers.
We'll be the openers.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
We'll make sure the St. Helena police are there and ready to
Yes.
snag anyone up.
Yeah, we'll do a live version of the show.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So good.
You do it. Anna's.
I think
No.
I love Anna's for what it is, but I'm picturing more classy.
The Goose and Gander. They do have live music out there every once in a while.
really?
Yeah. It was like Sundays. They had live music out there every weekend in the summertime. So there's options.
At least they used to, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Dig it.
Well, this one's interesting. A woman said she pulled over to the side of the road to text. It's very safe
Smart.
of her.
Yeah, that was thoughtful.
A man knocked on her front passenger side door, noticed her dog, and tried to open the back passenger side door. He wasn't armed or aggressive.
The dog wasn't armed?
The man that was trying to say hello to the dog.
Fine.
Odd. So what was he doing? Trying to protect the dog or
He was
something?
trying to just pet the dog.
Hillary has this problem all the time.
I do. I go up to strangers all the time. Just try to break into their car.
So
Just
you
say
pet
hi
your
to the dog. I'm surprised I haven't made it in here more.
Here's a police-worthy request. 11:06 on Sunday, or Monday the 22nd. A woman asked for help with her teenage son.
Again, anticlimactic. That's it? That's it?
Wow, she was feeling the need
What
to
kind of
ask
help?
for help.
I need a policeman to come over here and tell him he doesn't do his homework.
Oh, goodness.
So speaking of homework, the kids get to do, they've been doing homeschool here at Inglenook, and that's probably the coolest opportunity ever.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
have some good field trips with going to the winery and different. We had a fun. They saw one of the not a bulldozer, but a kind of a tractor device. They got to see that operate, and so all the kind of mechanics of the different operations here is fun for them to learn about, and it's very cool.
They
So-
did a whole archaeological thing with Anahid,
Yeah.
learning about our friend who's a amateur archaeologist, but they were digging up arrowheads, and Marcello found a crystal from a shaman and learning about the Wapo. And
That's so cool. Yeah.
This is, I think, a worthy story. We're trying to keep people interested in our thing, but when we went for the hike to the top of the mountain,
Sure.
Marcello, our son, who's 7 years old, or he was 7, or he is 7. Anyway, he found
Still
an arrowhead that was very detailed, had all these little ridges in it, but the tip was broken off. And we showed it to Anahid, who's a savvy archaeological person. He said, "Oh wow, this is this type of arrowhead from the Wapo Indians, most likely, and it's 2,000 years old. And this is a trail where they would go to the sea to trade shells and with other indigenous people." And it's kind of a cool find because they didn't live here; they were passing through, so they must have been hunting.
And that was on top of the ridge.
On
going
top of the
over.
ridge, yeah. So right on the edge of Sonoma. So everyone was really taking like, wow, Marcello, great job, amazing, so cool. What a find, so rare. And Pascal was a little felt left out, like, I kind of want to find something like that. And so she started looking, and sure enough, 200 yards, like in a very different place, she found the tip of the same arrowhead. And we put the two together. I have it. I can show it to you. And they fit perfectly. It was the same arrowhead.
And it is a very different style than the style that we see here.
2,000 years
normally.
old, found by two different kids in a totally different place.
It's unbelievable.
It's
That's like
incredible.
the best learning they could have.
Unbelievable. I mean, just think about it. Like that. That just doesn't happen. That's like you win the lottery.
Mom said I could do an educational game.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah, now they're learning
And just
on
an educational game.
the other sort of teacher.
Thank God for the iPad. That's amazing. And then the crystal was up there too.
No, the crystal
was
was
here.
out in the field,
field.
in front of the carriage house.
Yeah. So that field, again, 5,000 years of people living basically in that area. And you can see it's so dark from all of the fires they used to have, and that was like the dumping ground. It was like it was two sections. There was one that was kind of the dump, as I understand, where they would throw all their old
Scrapings.
obsidian and scrapings they didn't use, and then the other part where they actually lived in. But yeah, 5,000 years of people living there. And you can see it actually on a map because it's so dark from all the
That's so cool.
ashes and all the burning over so many thousand years. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's an amazing history. And there's all the, like you said, you can just walk through there and find all kinds of arrowheads and everything.
Yeah.
That's cool. And then getting up to more present history, let's hear a little bit about Inglenook.
What you know is quite a lot. What area do you want to talk about?
Gosh, well, I guess we could start from the beginning quickly. I mean, I know we could spend all night on that.
Spark notes.
It was started, let's see, it's 1879, right, by Gustav Niebaum.
Exactly.
Yep.
So it was founded. Gustav Niebaum was a Finnish sea captain who made a great fortune trading furs and being a trader of that time. And he had a concern that went to Alaska and back. And anyway, he made this great wealth. He lived in San Francisco, and so he wanted to. He was a wine person and wanted to learn about that and try his hand at making a vineyard. And I'm not sure how he came to know that this. I guess there had been a precedent for growing grapes here, but anyway, with his great wealth, he bought what he felt was to be the prime zone, which is Rutherford, which we know is pretty insightful.
You did pretty good.
Yeah, smart guy. Yeah.
And then he set out to build a vineyard or a winery rather that really spared no expense. It was very progressive with very sanitary emphasis. Hoses and washing stations. I think that he used
All gravity, right? Three levels.
gravity and using a lot of the newest thinking and so on. And was eager to match the great wines of Europe, and ultimately did that. With his, I think it was his nephew John Daniels, and I don't know all the nitty gritty, but it had different eras. It excelled and was considered one of the great, certainly one of the great California wines, and then. My dad bought it. It had been split up in the 70s or maybe late 60s and had been sort of broken apart. My dad was able to buy the home with some acreage. And then in 95, he was able to buy the other rest of the acreage and the wine facility, the winery. And then some years later, he was able to buy the name, which had been broken up separately. So he kind of restored it with similar interest to sort of be the best and do everything with excellence. And now we're building a new winery facility that is going to have many fermenters and all sorts of gravity feed. To have the crush be as sensitive to the grapes and be able to segregate blocks and to really do blending in a superior way. So he's very excited, and it's just about to come online. I think this fall will be a first opportunity to use some of this new facility. So we're all optimistic that we're going to be doing something excellent and deserving of this great terroir.
Awesome. Very cool. And each, if I understand right, each block is going to have a separate fermenter, I think, and it's going to be able to...
Yeah, so that's one of the innovations or ideas that Philippe, who's the winemaker, was directing us towards, that with more capacity to separate wines, then you have more control and more ability to blend as you know, with more knowledge. So by keeping the wine separate, you can really discern the characteristics better, and so everything is being done to make the most fine end result.
Cool. Nice. Well, I always said it's a great thing that your family came here and kind of established that and really returned it to its original place here in Rutherford, because there was plans for this whole hill from Mount St. John to have 40 home sites on it, a big community, and that whole hill would have just been covered in houses, and like
that would have changed the whole.
Francis and Ellie came in, and
it would have changed the whole police report.
It would have.
Totally.
For sure.
Beerstecker Road, drunk driving.
Just like Monday, March 29th,
Right.
1602, report of 2 men drinking beer and blasting explicit music at the skate park while little leaguers were practicing nearby. So,
But
thankfully,
instead, we
have
have
that.
at 1428 on March 6th, report of a dead rabbit near the walking path along Madrona Avenue. So we're keeping it small and contained.
And rural.
This one's kind of odd. At 4:52 in the afternoon, report of a duffel bag containing what looked like surgical tubing was found on a bench on Spring Street.
interesting find.
Yeah.
Did you leave some of your practice supplies behind?
I didn't. I don't normally bring surgical tubing around with me for fun.
Just checking.
Thanks for checking.
This one, Monday, March 8th at 15:56, a report of 8 juveniles skateboarding in the middle of Elmhurst Avenue using a handheld stop sign to stop traffic, which to me sounds pretty responsible.
I feel like that's pretty safe with them.
Clearly, they're thinking about how to get a better skate experience and keep everyone in Salina safe.
Another new Salina addition is we have those orange crossing flags.
Would you ever, Roman, Jenny, would you ever pick up an orange crossing flag and walk across the street with it? Serious question.
You put it like in a
Yeah,
little stand.
you hold on to it the whole way.
And then you put it in the bucket.
You put it in the
on other
bucket
side.
on the other side, yeah.
Huh.
Would you do it?
I have not heard of that. I mean, it makes sense if you're a little slow walking or
Sure.
it's at night or something, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, really, with the way people don't stop on Main Street, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
might need it to flag someone down.
will say they have those at my college campus. And sometimes after an evening event and a few adult beverages, of course over the age of 21, those flags were pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
You can send semaphore. There's a whole language that you can use. They used to use on those ships in the Navy, right? Semaphore.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
There
what
you
that
go.
was.
That's what the peace symbol is based on. You guys know this story, right?
No. it's
Yeah,
like
the peace symbol is N and D, which stands for nuclear disarmament.
How interesting.
Yeah,
Oh.
which is the peace symbol. There you go.
You learn something new
Every-
in every podcast.
Podcast, something new, nuclear disarmament.
So cool.
Yeah, thankfully we don't have those problems in Salina. So, yeah. So anyway, the RC that we're drinking, you guys make it here, obviously at Inglenook.
We do. This
Yeah.
is a Syrah blend, and the blend. This is a 2001, and so I help to kind of guide it. I'm not the winemaker, but I taste it with the winemakers and kind of give my 2 cents, and it's fun to participate. But anyway, in the back of the label, which I designed, I'm proud of, we have a little chart that says what's in it. So this is comprised of 91% Syrah, 7% Merlot, 2% Petit Verdot, and over the years, we indicate what the blend is, and we've trended towards having less and less. I'm not even sure what if that was a conscious thing or just an intuitive thing, but now it's 97, 98% Syrah. And
You said it's your favorite variety?
I can't say it's my favorite, but I always liked it. I like the sort of bold Shiraz style Syrah, like Australian penfolds. I had that and really enjoyed it. And I like steaks and that kind of hearty food that it tends to go well with. And we had some on the property, and my dad invited me to, kind of guide it, and he knew I enjoyed Syrah, so the origin is that on my birthday, when I turned 40, I wanted to have, a big Balthazar, whatever, the hugest bottle I could get of wine that I had made for my birthday. So we started 5 years before I was born in 65, so 95, was it 95 was the first year? No, it was 2000.
2001, I think, or 2000.
When is my birthday? 2005?
Yeah.
Okay. So in 2000, that was our first year. And this is actually 2001. So we did it in 2000, so it would be ready 5 years later. So it's kind of a fun project to have that longevity. We made a massive bottle. And then we, make a couple hundred cases each year. And it's fun. It's a kind of thing that over the years I've placed it in some of my favorite restaurants. So that's a real treat. You go to a restaurant, you get to order your wine. It's fun. Although there was a kind of snobby sommelier at this one restaurant who was a little.
That never happened.
Well, he was kind of like, "Oh, are you trying to deplete the wine?" He kind of was a little snobby. Like I was only ordering it because I was trying to
show it moving.
Yeah, show it moving, and so I thought
you're buying it from you. I sold it to you, and I'm going to buy it back from you.
But I wanted to enjoy it, and just like to be in your favorite restaurant and to enjoy wine that came from your property.
She actually said that though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah. It was
Ouch.
rude. But that restaurant is now out of business. So, but I'm not happy to say that because it's one of my favorites. So hopefully it'll come back.
Sure. Damn. Wow.
I always like that the bug is in a different spot every year.
That's
Is
a little
that
detail.
I was wondering about that. What's the significance behind is it a bug? Is it a fly? Is it what?
It's a little bug. It's I'm not even sure what kind of bug. It's kind of like a little beetle. But the story with that is there are two little details about the wine that are sort of personal. One is
where's the here?
One is that there's a little bug that appears on the label at a different place for every vintage, so it's hopped all over for the last 20 years or whatever. And that is when we were kids, we had these dinner plates that had butterflies and moths and bugs. And I always thought it was kind of funny that you're eating and there's like a little bug in your plate. So I thought that was just a fun touch that I could add in sort of as a nod to that recollection. And also it points to sort of my personality where it's very elegant, you don't really notice it, but it has a little playful touch that I feel kind of speaks to who I am. And then on the cork, there's another little secret, which is a little slogan, which says Assa Nisi Massa, which is anima in Pig Latin in Italian. So it's a couple of steps removed, but anima is soul, and Assa Nisi Massa is like a Pig Latin way you say that, and it's something that appears in Fellini's 8½, which is a favorite movie of mine, where these kids are chanting this kind of magical word. And it's so in that film and in the lore of Fellini's growing up, it was kind of a magical word that I just thought it was a kind of secret message, and the cork was a real fun detail. So these are little like kind of secrets and things that are fun when you know about it and you say, oh, you know what that represents, and you can maybe people puzzle it out.
Stuff you only get here in 911 Wine to hear.
Yeah.
Cool. And your history with film started pretty early. You were you were in Godfather 1 and 2. 2 as Sonny Corleone, right?
I was not in Godfather 1, I don't think.
Yeah.
Although Sophia is famously in it as a little baby. She plays a boy. She's a female, but she plays male, so she's very versatile as an actor. But I was in Godfather 2 as Sonny Corleone, as a little, it was my dad's tradition to include his kids in his work, and it becomes like a souvenir or a, little family memento, so you look back at those movies, and it's kind of fun, it's fun as a kid. It's a little bit of a pain, because when you are in a movie, the hours are weird, and in the case of being that character, Sonny Corleone, they curled my hair with this old curling iron that would burn my neck, and you wear these shoes that look way too big and really uncomfortable. And so there's a kind of a funny memories where it's hot and you're standing around waiting forever. But then, of course, you see the movie, and I have played a scene. My significant scene was me and Robert De Niro So it's not
That's
so
when
bad.
he's looking in the crib, right? And he's no. That's
a
the
different movie.
Sophia. Yeah. Okay.
Well, there's I appear in a crib and You're a Big Boy Now.
Okay.
Which is a different. That was my first on
That's
camera.
it. That's the
appearance.
one. Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, it's fun memories, and it's kind of a mixed thing because of course movies are so glamorous, and that movie is so iconic. But the memories you have when you're really there are different and more.
It's the Italian
real.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's the Italian Star Wars.
That's what I would.
But and then Sophia was in obviously 3, and I know what's really cool about the remake that Francis just did was he kind of adjusted that last scene where
I haven't seen
Sophia.
it.
You haven't seen it? Oh, spoiler alert!
A woman called the police to report that she was getting a spoiler from The Godfather.
Nice. But he did the update. That's pretty cool. So you should check it out. And it's called Godfather.
It's Coda,
which is the final cut. Basically. Cool. Very nice. What was it like growing up around all the movies and?
It's I have a lot of fun memories. And it's colorful, and especially looking back, and these movies have become so iconic. I remember a lot of things like the famous Godfather. There's the horse that gets put in the bed, and I remember that day. And there was a horse they had in dry ice, the horse head. And
wait, how did they
get it there?
Horse head.
They got it from the glue factory.
They ordered it.
Really,
on Amazon?
actually, the glue factory.
Or you get it from a butcher.
Sure.
From I don't know.
It's where I get my pig's feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Same place.
And I remember it was in a crate, and had all this dry ice. So then I got to play with the dry ice, and you put it in a styrofoam cup, and you put like a penny on it, it squeals, and so all these kind of details that are a kid experience growing up that aren't really connected to like the lore of the movie, but fun memories and a lot of the people, crew members and actors, or people you come to know over the years. So it's like a big extended family and uncles and aunts, and it's a fun way to grow up.
Nice. And you guys both have worked on movies together as well. Which is your most favorite one you've worked on together?
We worked on Darjeeling Limited and a bit on Fantastic Mr. Fox. I didn't work on... Roman made CQ before I met him, and then he made Glimpse Inside the Mind of Charles Swan III while we had a 6-month-old. So
How'd that go?
I wasn't a part of that one. But he shot it in our house, so it felt...
You felt like you were there.
Yeah. I felt like I was a part of it, but
Nice.
it's not in the crew.
By association.
Yes.
But we're getting ready to go to Spain to work on a new Wes Anderson movie, so that's
Cool.
a scoop for the podcast.
What can you give any
Roman
sort
hasn't
of?
signed the NDA. So
Okay, so if you could say something about it, what would you say?
I don't want to
Don't
reveal
let us
too much.
push.
It's all very top secret, but
Yeah.
it is going to be filming in Spain in
Cool.
the fall. So that's as much as I can share, and it's very interesting,
Nice.
unusual as we always come to expect from Wes.
Yeah, and you guys have both worked with Wes Anderson a lot, right? And you have been a script supervisor for a while, right? Originally.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And then
Yeah.
with the kids, I took a break, but
Sure.
I'm getting back to it.
Cool, nice. And you'll both be working on this
Yeah.
new project.
Yes.
Very cool. Wow.
I think that's very cool that your careers, you each have your own thing, but they still overlap in
Yeah.
a way.
It's fun.
I think 911 should definitely do an on-site Spain update just to see how this is all going.
Check in.
just check in.
Knock on the
Yeah,
door.
we'll be able to write it
We're
off.
just gonna show up.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're here. You didn't exactly invite us. We just showed
We're
up.
here. Yeah, it's okay. It's a write-off.
We're here to report on the Spain crime.
Yes.
We can't exactly read it, but we'll figure
give
it
our
out. I
best
know
shot.
enough Spanish. It'll be fine. Well, speaking of the crime, police patrolled the area where school buses were left overnight. It appeared that someone had tried to open a door of one of the buses.
Tried and apparently failed.
Yeah.
Why would you want to get into a bus?
It might be a warm place to
I was
sleep.
gonna say.
That's true. What time? This is March. It was cold.
At 1 a.m.
Okay.
Or joyride.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I like that idea better.
Yeah. If only. I mean, you guys have some experiences with buses.
We do.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
And we will have more experience in later in the month. And we have an old bus that is an RV. It's a 1941. No, is it a 41? I'm spacing now. No, 47.
Yeah.
So 1947 Silversides bus, which is a GMC, Greyhound, made for Greyhound.
Right.
It was a passenger bus, but now it's been converted into a kind of a cool RV with a sort of wood interior, which is cool. And yeah, and we've had some fun adventures on it. We've taken it across country, and our kids love it. And there's little bunks that all
everyone has
flown
a
up.
place to sleep, and
Pretty much. The boys now have to share. There's a little kind of a banquette seating that folds down, and then a couch. But yeah, we all have our spots, and it's cozy, and it's like a little, have our little pod, and it has a nice small galley and bathroom and stuff. So yeah, we can boondock, as they say, where we can go off the grid, and we have batteries that last a long time, and a lot of water. And so, so we can take our time and go to some more remote campsites and stuff. It'll be fun.
So when you go, what's the plan?
slides.
Where?
What's that?
Is it with water slides?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
What's the adventure plan for this trip?
The ultimate destination is my hometown, in North Carolina. But we're gonna stop in. We're going to Zion,
Cool.
which is supposed to be so beautiful. But the reality of having 3 small children
With giant.
and being in COVID with like shuttle buses, anyway, that we maybe are just gonna camp and run. It's hard to go hiking in those big hikes with little ones, but we're more excited to power through and get to cities and see some stuff.
Cool.
Amusement parks.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to be. Our son is turning 5, so we're going to go to an amusement park, and I'm excited. We have a whole itinerary that's all figured out, which is fun.
Good.
This is reminding me that I need a driving lesson.
So you guys drive it the whole way?
Yes, but I've driven it before, but only doing the thing where you switch on the freeway. Can I say this on a podcast?
Someone's going to call it in.
Worst case, say the police department gets a phone call.
But it's out of their jurisdiction, though.
Out of
they'll-
jurisdiction.
Perfect.
The CHP does not follow us yet.
It's like
So we're good.
so many years precedent. Like
Yeah.
you can't report a
You're
crime
fine.
after
This
so
happened
long.
7 years ago, so your
But I
statute of
remember-
limitations is
Thank
out.
you. That's the word.
It's one of those things where you think, oh yeah, you just get it up to speed. We're on the freeway,
Right.
65, no problem. Like we'll just switch. But the reality of switching drivers for a 35-foot bus is like there's a moment where I
No
was
one's-
in Roman's lap, and he, like, which one of us is going to push the pedals, and how are you going to get out from under me? It was a little.
You remember it
Scary.
differently because we have cruise control.
Maybe the pedals weren't part of it. Maybe I just had a panic of I don't know how to do this
it's
once he's
scary
gone.
for a fraction of a second, but
But he needed a break, and we didn't feel like stopping.
It's good.
well, it's not. I have a different
Okay.
perspective. You know,
Here we go.
Can I report
Here we
it?
go.
I'm gonna call the police.
My wife exaggerates.
When the bus is on the freeway, it's very easy to drive because there's a straight line and it's very stable and stuff. But getting on and off ramps and going through gas stations and cities in particular
Turning
is
corners.
tricky. So that's the challenge. And you wanted to practice.
I did, but we just didn't fit that into our schedule.
I think the safe way to do it is pull off to a rest stop and have a straight shot because it's kind of unsafe to be unfamiliar with how to drive it in a busy urban place.
Sure. Well, go to the parking lot. We actually did that the other day. We had some fire department training we were doing, teaching people to drive. So we used to use the Inglenook parking lot. And Andrea came up all of a sudden and said, "Oh my God, I thought there was an emergency. I saw 2 fire engines here." And then Catherine called me and said, "Is Chris there an emergency in Inglenook?" I said, "No, I'm sorry. We're just doing driver's training." She said, "Okay, good." So you have the Inglenook parking lot.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for letting us use that without any prior coordination.
Just show up.
We just showed up. Cool. You guys have been really great, by the way, to the fire department. We thank you.
No, we love. We're grateful to have
Thank
it.
you.
And to have it be so close is an
Yeah.
incredible thing to have in our life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any more good crime in yours?
Let's see. There was a report of swarm of bees in Lyman Park. Public Works put a caution around it.
Oh, Public Works.
Thank you, Public Works. They are men and women of multiple talents. Here's a good one. Friday, March 26th, 8:24 in the morning. Report of a man yelling at kids outside the firehouse. Meanwhile, another caller reported having some cigarettes stolen by a man who matched the same description. Police arrested the 32-year-old Napa man on suspicion of petty theft, tampering with a vehicle, and vandalism. Apparently yelling at kids is legal.
At 8 o'clock in the morning.
At 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, here's kind of a gruesome one. 0924, a man was found dead on a bench at Miley Park. No foul play suspected.
Nice. That's not good.
I feel like, though, this is always the running joke. Like, people call in for a dead person, they're actually just sleeping.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
can you imagine
actually
the
happening,
police
yeah.
going up and thinking they're sleeping?
Sure.
And it's like, oh,
That's awful. Yeah.
that's an actual, like, real crime.
Yeah.
An actual dead person.
Well, I want to know who lives on Mitchell Drive, because at 1921 on March 6th, there were reports of loud bass sounds causing a neighbor's house to rumble.
Wow.
Oh, Hillary.
No idea of anyone that lives there.
Are you?
She does. Can we
Was
say that on the
that
podcast?
you? Were you having a party?
What if you have a stalker
Uh-oh.
I hope
and
not.
they just know where you live now?
Well, I have,
Pritchard Drive, I said.
I have such a vicious guard dog. We'll be fine.
You're fine.
With his cone on right
What do
now.
you have next door so they can advise you of all the new people that have moved in your community and different challenges that surround the community of San Lena?
I don't think that was me throwing a party. I
No.
like to think I'm that fun and rambunctious, but I was probably asleep.
Probably sleeping, of course.
Unless it was 6 p.m., then I was
Yeah.
probably just cooking dinner.
This is reminding me that there was one time that my college boyfriend and I called the cops because
Really?
the neighbor was throwing a party and it was really loud and it went on and on and on and on and on. But that's the one time
That's
I
it. That
showed
was
up
one
to
time
the
you called.
police log.
Yeah.
But I remember we were like these punk rock kids
Huh.
that had no right to call the police.
So
We were finally like,
the
"It's the only way."
spring summer do you practice here in the vineyard? I guess you don't have any neighbors too close to complain.
No.
I wouldn't say anything. You guys do hang out with some cool people. I mean, in addition to Hillary and Chris.
Obviously.
Yeah. Bill Murray's like always like a big fan, right? He's always.
Well,
hanging
we're a
out.
big fan.
We're a big fan.
Yeah, he's very, he's such a,
He's been in a bunch of movies for you guys.
He's in Charleston a lot.
Is he?
Right?
yeah, that's where he lives.
Yeah.
He seems
that's
like
what
the
I thought.
coolest guy to like run into. Like he'll just give you advice and just hang out with him, and that's really cool.
He's very,
Yeah.
he's mysterious and lovable, and yeah, he's kind of a legend. That's what
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, the 2017 family wine is probably not available for purchase, unfortunately.
This is very limited production. We probably have of this year. I can't remember, but maybe between 4 to 6 cases. So it's
Very
modest.
tiny.
Ultra
Yeah, ultra
Low
premium.
yield.
But
Exactly.
ultra premium.
The way we sort of gauge it is like how many minutes can we convince our children to pick grapes?
Well, we have a system. I can outline a little bit for
Let's
those
hear
who
it.
might be interested. But we have innovated a bit with some of our tools, and basically the Ikea bag is our container of choice.
That's our unit.
So we have a couple of them, and then we've tried different things over the years. But basically, that's we know if we have like about 8 Ikea bags, we're kind of in the realm of our carboy. That we have a fermenter. I think it's 32 gallons.
Yeah.
And then the carboy is like 14 gallons or 16 gallons, something like that. So there's a kind of a math. Start with the increment of IKEA, goes to the fermenter, and then it fits in our carboy. And anyway, that's our system, and it's been pretty good. The first year, our son Marcello was riding in Jenny's little papoose,
He was in the baby carrier.
little baby carrier on her back, and
And
she
I
was
was like,
picking.
are you kidding me? Is this really what we're doing?
It's so
pretty
funny
much
because
been my attitude every year.
but we have photos, and it's a joyful memory for me.
No, it's really wonderful.
and
I'm just
we're-
always exhausted.
Yeah, it's exhausting, but I think that's
hard work.
That's
Yeah.
a positive thing to say you did
Yeah.
something to the point of exhaustion. I think
Sure.
that's like a good credit. Anyway, we've done it for 6 years now. And 2 years ago, we were living in LA, but I came back with the kids to pick and to crush. And then we brought our fermenter in our minivan back to LA. So we had our,
A good portion of it spilled all in the car.
Yeah. Well, that was a
Smelled
separate.
like
That's different. That was the
that
jug
was in
that
San
broke.
Francisco.
No. That was.
Oh no, multiple.
We've had a few incidents.
Yes, there's been a lot of wine spilled in that van.
I'm glad you weren't pulled over shortly
I
thereafter.
Yeah. Open
The
container.
smell in the car. There's no denying there was alcohol in the vehicle.
Yeah, actually, it was so heavy to lift out that we left it in the car for quite some time. We were driving around with it.
No,
it's
we would
too hard
just punch
to,
it down in the van and like take the kids to school. I was always so scared some other parent was going to come over near our car.
What's going on with the Coppolas?
Yeah, mobile fermenting facility.
So you can actually label that as like multiple AVA, you know? It's like LA, it's like Rutherford, it's a really great blend, it's mobile fermented, single berry fermentation. Very
It
classic.
is quite unique.
That's fun. So you gotta squirrel away some of these for when the kids get older. That'd be fun.
Yeah, no, yes, we've been a little sloppy with our labeling, but I need you to pass where I can, put it up in the cellar and get it all organized. Because we've been doing it for 5 years and about 5 cases a year, and so we have a pretty fair amount.
6 years, but 1 year it turned to vinegar.
Yeah, we had 1 year that was a bust, but it's fermenting in the vinegar, so that's kind of a different.
Cool.
Project.
Well, you know what? Hey, maybe you get another option there.
Yeah.
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 Some red
$800
wine.
bottle of
Red wine vinegar.
estate red wine vinegar.
So Jenny, where can we find your music?
My band name is Spring Summer, and I don't recommend naming yourself after 2 seasons that coincide with the fashion world as far as Google goes, but I did it.
Cool.
And it's streaming, and then on YouTube are the videos for Oh Brother and Bow Your Head.
Nice. We're gonna post them in on the 911 podcast, so our viewers can see what we're talking about.
Throw
They
the
are
song in the podcast too.
yeah,
Stay
absolutely.
tuned.
Yeah, actually, Jenny is gonna play us out tonight and in. You just didn't know about that. But no, really cool, and they pair super well with any Inglenook, any Coppola wine, and we can buy that at Inglenook.com.
I should know.
I think it is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
think it is.
Or come to the vineyard and
Yeah.
come taste it and see what you like and buy it in person.
Cool. But yeah, if you are looking for a really cool experience, this is and it's oldest winery in Rutherford.
Is that
I think,
a
yeah,
fact?
it's the oldest
Wow.
winery. And then I think one of
But BV is in a similar realm.
1900, I think. Was
Okay.
BV. So yeah, you got
So,
21 years.
Cool.
And then I think as far as Napa, it's one of the first few. I don't know which
This
one.
Rutherford Dust Society knowledge is really helpful today.
It's super helpful. You're welcome. And so, plug for the Rutherford Dust Society. Come join. Really cool. And you guys are invited. You'll probably be gone. But August 1st, Chili Ball. Going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, locals are all there. And speaking of locals, it's really great to have you guys on.
Yes,
Thank you.
We're so pleased to be invited.
We're honored to be here. And you guys have been great friends and great neighbors. And look forward to hearing more about your adventures soon.
We'll come back for a follow-up. If
We
there's
will.
an invitation.
The Spain follow-up.
Yes.
Awesome.
Great. Thank
All
you.
right.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
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 Yay, thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, brother, I'm lonesome. Oh, brother, I'm down. The ground, it gets harder when I'm pacing around. A little bit weary and weak in the knees. Guess one could argue this is how it should be. Good morning, night. Keep me alive. Keep think I told you just how much I've cried. I keep counting the clocks, counting the days, swimming in moonlight, drowning by day. Good morning night, keep me alive, keep me alive. Good morning night, good morning night, good morning night, keep me alright, keep me alright. Good morning night, good morning Well, now that I'm grown up, I'm lost, but I'm sure I remember your driveway. I've been here before. A little bit weary, yeah, weak in the knees. I thought I could keep you there right next to me. Good morning night, keep me alive, keep me alive. Good morning night, good morning night, good morning night, keep me alright, keep me alright. Good morning night, good morning
At 2243, you enjoy your evening and be safe.